Today we are going to discuss about how to have a stress-free mind. We learn the teachings of the Buddha, and the Buddha has taught us how to be calm, peaceful, and happy here and now in this life itself. So let's think about which is the most important thing in life is to become a happy person. So we need to take some time to think about it and develop this calm, peaceful, happy nature within us. It's the original nature of us. It's the original nature of the being. But we have deviated from our original nature. But we can start this journey and get back to this calm, peaceful nature that's within us and live a happy and peaceful life here and now. Before we start thinking about how to become calm, peaceful, and happy, it's a good idea to learn a little bit about the basic biology of our system. If we understand the biological basis of our system and what happens to us, how we lose our calm, peaceful nature within us, if we understand the basic principles, then it is much easier to achieve our goal. So what is our biological nature? It's a vast subject, but we can think about briefly about it, the basics. We are living beings living in an environment, and we living beings, we have sensual organs. We all know what are our sensual organs. We have our eyes, ears, nose, mouth as sensory organs, and in addition the skin also covering our body. All these sensory organs, they are exposed to our environment, and therefore they always get stimulated from this environment. Say for example, we get the light sensation to our eyes and we can see like that. Through the ears we hear, and nose we smell, and taste through the mouth, and on the skin we feel pain, temperature, and touch. All these sensory organs have a nervous supply. The nerves carry sensations from these sensory organs to the brain and the nervous system. And so this is the brief outline. It is maybe you already know about this basic arrangement of our sensory organs. And let's see what happens when we are living in an environment. We are exposed to the environment stimulations through, as we discussed earlier, through our sensory organs. So we can hear, we can see, we can smell, we can taste, we can touch, and so on. So these stimulations, when we receive them, sometimes we like them, sometimes we don't like them, or sometimes it may be a neutral feeling. And we develop a feeling for this sensation, liking or disliking, or a neutral feeling. If we like this sensation, what we see, what we heard, what we taste, maybe there's not much problem if we like it. But the problem is if we don't like what we saw, what we heard, what we taste, and so on. What happens to us when we don't like these sensations we received? It could be through our communication from other people, from the environment, perhaps your workplace, school, family, all those things. Then what happens? We don't like when somebody said something to us. What happens if we don't like, sometimes we may develop an emotional arousal. This what we heard it goes into our brain or nervous system, and we identify what being said to us. And then through the thinking part of the brain, we understand it. And then there is an emotional activity. If we don't like, what can happen is an emotional reaction can develop. What are the emotional reactions? Some of them: anger, hatred, fear, jealousy, sadness, so on. We all experience these emotions in our life. Sometimes to a lesser extent, sometimes to a great extent. This can be a problem according to what we have heard or seen or what happened to us. If there is an emotional response, and if we react, then it becomes a problem. Of course, if we have a mindset that we have developed so that we do not get attached to what being said, or we do not personalize what other people said to us or what happened in the environment, something we don't like, we don't personalize, then we can still stay calm and peaceful and not take it personally to ourselves. But most of the time, what happens is, when something happens in the environment or when something is said to us, probably something unkind, we don't like, or something rude, or some comments, things like that, we get affected and we develop an emotional reaction. When we sometimes, if we see somebody is having somebody having some anger or sadness, we can see that person on the person's face itself. Even if the person is not saying anything, no angry words, no sad words, we can still observe it. How is that? Because of this thinking within us. It is not only the thinking mind, the body also changes. This is how the mind, the thinking can affect our entire system. The body and the mind and the body, they work together. And if we develop these emotions within us, or these emotional reactions within our system, it is not an healthy environment or healthy thing in the body. So let us see, this is why it is very important to understand the basic biology. What is happening to us when we are experiencing these emotions, such as anger, hatred, fear, jealousy, sadness, so on. The brain sends a signal. This idea is thinking in the brain, and the emotional reaction takes place, and then a message is sent to a particular gland, which is called the adrenal gland. Most of you must have heard about it. It's located on top of the kidney, a very small gland. And this adrenaline secretion, normally it is needed for our bodily functions. But in these instances, when the mind is disturbed, emotionally disturbed situations, more adrenaline is secreted into the bloodstream. What does it do? It circulates in the system, and then blood pressure can increase, heart rate can increase, sweating and stiffness, tension develops. And this is how you can observe when somebody is experiencing anger within them. Even if they don't say anything, you can still see. If somebody is sad, sadness, you can still see them. This is because a hormonal arousal or a chemical reaction takes place during this emotional arousal. And this circulates in the body, and then you feel a tension in the body. Supposing, so we'll say someone said some rude things to you, unkind things to you, whatever. So you think about it, this person is very unkind or said some rude things to me, and you personalize it. And then your thinking brain, then your emotional activity also starts. Maybe you become angry towards this, what you heard or what you saw. Then your emotional arousal, and you feel angry, and then you develop a tension within your system. What I am telling you, you can observe, because it's all in our biological system. If you sit down when you are angry, you feel upset or sad, sit down, observe. Then you can observe. Your mind is disturbed. Your body has a tension. What happens is, when there is such a tension developing in the body, because you are creating stories about what's being heard, what's being said to you, uh, this emotional reaction creates a tension in the body. Observe this. But normally people don't observe it. They want to release the tension. It is discomfort, it is uncomfortable. Therefore, everyone automatically tends to release this tension. How do we release this tension? It could be released in your words or in your actions. You can say angry words, shouting, yelling, things like that. That is a way of releasing that tension that has developed within your system. Or even if the tension is much greater than that, a person can go and hit somebody, break some things, damage, violence. This is that huge tension because of the anger and the hatred that has developed, and that because of that chemical reaction. If the hatred is so huge, this is how a person can go and kill another person. Uh, that hatred, that anger, that tension is too much to handle, and they unconsciously go and release it, and maybe perhaps they find a bit of comfort uh, once it is being released. You may have heard some people say, I yelled at them, I said some nice things, I shouted, and now I feel good about it. That is because that tension, anger, or hatred that's within is being released through the words or through the actions, and maybe a person can feel a bit, this discomfort can be released a bit. But we are a civilized human nature, human beings, and living in a civilized society. We all experience these emotions and difficulties within our system, and we want to release these, and we want to become comfortable. If somebody said some rude things, angry things, something happened, something really terrible happened to us, we develop this discomfort within our system. So, as a civilized people in our civilized society, shouting, yelling, and angry words, or hitting, violence, or murder, these are not acceptable. It is damaging to us as well as to the others who are involved in this situation. It is damaging to the entire society. Even if we say angry words, our relationships can be broken, be damaged, and probably sometimes it can never be back to normal when we express in anger in our words or in our actions. So there is a problem now. We have some tension within because of something happened or something said to us. There are simple methods where we can release our tension. Uh, Firstly, sit down and take some time. Observe yourself. What has happened to me now? My mind is disturbed and my body is disturbed as well. there is some tension and discomfort. If you go within towards your inner self rather than going out and reacting or expressing, putting it out and damaging, go within yourself, inside, within you, your inner self. The Buddha's teachings is observe your inner self and adjust your inner self. It is good for us, it is good for the other people, it's good for the society. What do we do? Sit down and observe yourself, then you can see how disturbed you are. Then, when you are observing these disturbances, normally you cool down, you settle down, it get diluted. It won't be carried with stories building up over and over again. That stories building up or reacting in words or reacting in actions, they are all unconscious activity. The Buddha said that is unconsciousness. We are not doing them. It automatically happens to us. We are shouting or yelling or hurting someone or violence. This is unconscious behavior. What we have to do is become conscious. To become conscious, how to become conscious is look within. Observe yourself, inner self within you, and then you become conscious, or we can call it mindfulness, awareness, becoming conscious about your being, all these things, and it helps you to calm down. Sit down. Firstly, you can sit down and observe yourself. There are other very useful techniques to handle this situation. You can develop some breathing, not develop actually, it is also only observing. Observe your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Just observe, don't do anything. That is another method. It helps a lot. You go on doing it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so on. And it will help you to relax, calm down. That is another thing. Also, other things are just look out of the window. How beautiful is this environment? The sun is rising, the sky is blue, the birds are flying, the trees are there, the wind blowing. Observe the nature, the Mother Nature, how beautiful. And the Mother Nature showing us a lot of compassion, calm, peaceful, happy. Why can't we develop that beautiful nature? We are beings from Mother Nature. So we must follow Mother Nature and observe Mother Nature. Be happy. Look out of the window. Another thing you can do, go out for a walk if possible, and also observe the blue sky, the birds, or sun or the moon, whatever, and the wind blowing. It is also a very relaxing technique, going out and going for a walk. So these things you can do if you have some problem within you, such as anger, sadness, so on. There are other things you can do. You can let it out. You can talk to a trusted friend, your teacher, your family, whoever it is. Surely we all have some colleagues that are very close to us, and we can talk to them and look, this has happened, what can I do? And you can discuss. They may have their suggestions, you can think about it. So that will also help you to a great deal to handle this situation. So these are small things. Of course, if you are a music lover, you listen to a song, or you can play your music instrument. They are also very good relaxing techniques. whatever. Uh, Another thing, so there are so many other small things you can do, you can think about them. um, Other things are, we follow our religious leaders, whatever our religion is. Our religious leaders have always taught us, especially when we are facing difficult situations in our life, we can think about our really great religious leaders. Say if you are a Buddhist or a Catholic or whatever it is, they are, look at their picture, look at their statue. They are calm, peaceful, happy nature, and they have taught us how to become calm, peaceful, happy. The teachings of the Buddha, the basics, the foundation, the entire foundation of the teachings of the Buddha is how to become a calm, peaceful, happy person in this life, here and now. This is the teachings of the Buddha. And get rid of these negativities that has built within your system, such as anger, fear, hatred, sadness, so on. The Buddha's teachings is, we are human beings, we have a developed mind, and we are not going to have this kind of behavior that is damaging to us and to the society and our colleagues. Develop higher human qualities within us, and then all your difficulties will pass away. All your anger, sadness, fear, so on, they will pass away. What are the human qualities we can develop? Kindness, compassion, caring, forgiving, patience, tolerance, love. There are so much. Go and help, go out there and help somebody. You feel happy, your inner happiness. This is what we want to develop, that inner happiness. Not expecting anything in return. Be happy and achieve that inner happiness through kindness, compassion, care, giving, forgiving, and loving others and caring for them. So instead of damaging your system through this damaging emotional experiences, uh, we can, if we develop these good qualities within us, you feel your mind is relaxed, your mind is calm, your body is relaxed. Observe that relaxation, calm the mind, relax the body, and it is very good for your system. Your blood pressure will go down normal, and your tension is released, your anger, all those things are gone. You feel calm, peaceful, and happy. So we discussed only few techniques how to get rid of this stress. We've been talking about the stress hormone. We call it stress hormone. This is the normal stress reaction. Modern world, they are talking about all this anger, hatred, fear, all of that, all those emotions. They are the stress reactions, and the adrenaline is called the stress hormone as well. So letting go of this stress, there are many simple methods like we already discussed, and letting go of it and developing good qualities that helps us calm the mind and relax the body, and our health is also better, lot better, if we have good thoughts in our thoughts, in our words, in our actions. So we discussed only few things how to become relaxed, like sitting down, then watching, observing the breathing, or going out, walking, music, uh, playing your musical instruments, things like that. The Buddha's great teachings has taught us meditation. Uh, this is a great technique now worldwide. So many people get benefits out of this meditation, and it helps a great deal to get rid of our stress and our suffering, our tensions in the body and helps us relaxation, calming the mind, relax the body. In another talk, we will discuss more detail in more detail. Thank you.